rules are very clear. The Office of the Director General of Civil Aviation's rules, requirements for dealing with disruptive, unruly persons are very clear. Passengers can be refused embarkation, can be offloaded. There is a mechanism to detect unruly passengers, file an FIR with the security agency at the airport. So there is a clear rule. Do you believe, though, at times cabin crew can be intimidated, particularly if the passenger involved is a VVIP who is sitting in business class?
No, no, the question, there is a fixed protocol defined what is to be done, and I don't think that protocol was followed. There is nothing like a compromise as reached between the two passengers, so there's no question of reporting. The air hostess should have immediately informed the commander. He should have been segregated. There should have been kept a check on him. The minute he landed, he should have been handed over to the police or BICA security. Inquiry should have been launched. He should have been not allowed to board the flight, and DGCA should have been informed immediately, and an inquiry should have been launched. Now, I don't know at what stage DGCA was informed, because this is a great risk. And another thing, everybody's talking of the urination part, which is itself is very embarrassing. But even exposing himself to a lady under Section 509 is a criminal offense. So that nobody's talking. That itself is a criminal offense, that he exposed himself to the lady. And nobody's, so as it is, a crime has been committed. So it's just not a question of urinating, but exposing himself is a very, very serious offense. And what I read, that the lady was made to sit in the jump seat. There were first class seats empty, still they were not offered. I don't know what the facts are, but what happened is extremely shameful. And he should have been on a no-flight list of not only Air India, but on all and every airline. I don't understand how he was just allowed to deboard. No police was informed, no BCAS was informed. So I think somewhere the cabin crew is at fault. The commander should have taken responsibility, and I'm sure there will be a very proper DGCA inquiry and action will be taken. But there is a very laid down protocol which I feel was not followed at this stage.
You know, Mr. Bhargava, since you have been speaking to crew, given your past contacts at Air India, what do they say? Was this particular passenger a VVIP? Was he someone who was throwing his weight around? Were they intimidated by him? Why did they not hand him over to the security on landing? You saying there was a compromise struck with the two passengers. Come on. I mean, urinating on a seat and, you know, exposing your private parts is a violation of the law. Forget about anything else. There cannot be a compromise in a case like this. So what was the crew's explanation for not bringing the security right away, the moment they landed at the airport?
Rajdeep, let me, since all the three other panelists have made a point, whether the captain, pilot in command was kept in the loop or not, let me say he was kept in the loop, and the cabin crew was acting as per his directions. That's the first part. Second, as I've said very clearly, yes, it's a deplorable act. And I've also stated very categorically that he should not only be barred by Air India for 30 days, for a longer period by all airlines. He deserves this as minimum punishment. The fact is that cabin crew are trained for all kinds of emergencies. There could have been lacuna subject to anybody's interpretation, but till we are privy to the report submitted on what exactly happened, what were the dimensions. As I said earlier, compromise between the two. Airline doesn't come into the picture at all in there. But airline, I would agree with Parvez when he says, should have proceeded on their own. It is obligatory on the part of the airline to keep the regulatory agencies informed that this is what transpired on board. There are so many instances when an airline hides a pilot while landing the aircraft, some kind of a small thing, do not report, and they're hauled up. So there is no reason why an airline should not be asked as to why was the matter not reported earlier. And what preventive measures are proposed to be taken?
If he exposed himself, it's an embarrassing situation for the other ladies. There must have been other lady passengers. There must have been lady crew. Exposing himself itself is a criminal offense. This has offended every lady who was there, every air hostess on the flight. So a criminal act has occurred under Section 509. And even urinating in a public place, that itself is a criminal offense. So a criminal offense, there can be no compromise. The cabin crew and the commander, the airline should have taken their own action, whether the passenger wanted to file a case or report or not. So it's an independent. That
What-
the cabin
what
crew
does
and
this-
the commander's job was to take action according to the laid down protocol,
You know,
which is
what
very,
does
very
this do?
clear now.